Jaden McDaniels is becoming a legit two-way star before our eyes right now. We're talking about a 6'10" spider who's already been at an elite defensive level for multiple seasons, and now his offensive game is trending into another stratosphere. McDaniels was already showcasing more confidence, consistency, and a deeper offensive bag before Anthony Edwards went out injured, but since then he has become a monster. He's averaged over 20 points on an insane 66% true shooting in those 5 games since Ant got injured, and his game has looked like an offensive Stanley knife that's capable of driving good offense in a bunch of different ways. I think he's always been a killer in transition. He's huge, he's got those really long strides, and his touch around the rim is a feature in everything he does offensively. This isn't really something we're seeing from McDaniels for the first time, but it's worth noting because he's the best transition player on the team, and transition points are the most effective way to score in basketball. Minnesota gets into transition 2.6% more often when McDaniels is on the floor compared to when he's off the floor, which does seem like a small number, but it ranks in the 84th percentile league-wide, and that's a very important marginal gain for this team. Now those numbers are pure fast breaks. What they don't account for is semi-transition possessions, and that's where McDaniels has become one of the league's deadliest predators. When McDaniels is in this position, prowling the flanks of the court, he's become a vital component of Minnesota's offense. The whole league is trending towards this frantic pace of play style, and McDaniels is what enables Minnesota to keep up with this trend. If he catches here at half court in semi-transition, he's got this broken floor to work in, with multiple defenders not set and no true rim protection, and getting to the rim against those situations is his bread and butter. Again, he's just too big and too smooth moving to stop if this defensive floor map is in front of him, and he's got a head of steam going toward the rim. That's been a huge part of his scoring bump lately, but I'm also interested in what it's doing for Minnesota's offense as a whole. I love him scoring in these situations because it's such a bankable component of Minnesota's offense right now, and it is super replicable, but what does it lead to outside of getting his own buckets? Sometimes that intention to push is just going to draw defenders toward him and open up simple passes for transition threes. That's super basic, but it is opening up those looks, and that's something Minnesota has struggled with in the past. Even if he's getting out in transition and drawing these backside helpers, he's going to open up shots at the ring for his rim runners. I think it goes a little deeper than that as well though. It really starts to tilt the defense into places they just don't want to be. So when Gobert comes and sets this flare screen, it's now 3 defenders bent to that side of the floor, with 2 rotated helpers having to contain Minnesota's 3 shooters. That makes that swing action create an open shot really easily. Again, it's all about making defenses break their shell before they even get into their shell. If he's drawing these 3 defenders to him early in the clock, it makes it super easy to flare screen and make this closeout a long one. It's a great way to avoid sluggish offensive possessions, which has been a problem for Minnesota in the past. Even if it's just a vessel to get into quick actions, it's going to be valuable. There's nothing here, so they get into a quick handoff action, go and set an away screen, and then open up a quick fire 3-point look for a shooter like Donte DiVincenzo. Just by having this weapon within Minnesota's offense, already McDaniels is way more valuable on that side of the ball than he ever has been. Instead of just being a defender who sits in the corner on offense, he's now kick-starting possessions and forcing defenses into rotation. But probably even more important than that is what he's doing for them in the half court. McDaniels being a legit option in their offensive actions is new and really impressive. They might have him setting pin down screens like this for their flip back options so they can open up this empty side of the floor for him to work in. Even against a good defender like Vanderbilt, they really do have the faith in him right now to go and get a bucket there. Or they might have him running off pin downs instead, so he can initiate offense and be the one who attacks the tilted defense off a different flip back action. Because he's so big and so skilled inside the arc as a storer, they can use him in a bunch of different ways in set plays. He can be the screener, the cutter, the finisher, or the initiator, and he's proving right now he can handle the responsibility that all of those roles demand. I love this horns out chase action where he comes off the horns formation onto the wing while the big chases him up there to set a ball screen, and there's a few options. Here it's slip it to Gobert as he rolls into the middle, and that creates a wide open 3-ball off the short roll. Doing that more often allows him to soak up more usage as more than a scorer. Here it's the same action, but this time the helper is tucked right in to prevent Gobert's roll, so he slides it to the corner for an open look. Again, we just haven't seen him be a playmaker in offensive actions, and that's going to take his game to another level if he can do that consistently. When he's getting his own buckets in the half court though, it's all about punishing rotated defenses off the catch. McDaniels punching gaps in the defense is now Minnesota's most dangerous offensive weapon outside of Edwards and Randle. If defenses are gravitating toward Randle and away from McDaniels, he's going to shred them off the catch with that funky pace that he's got and that soft touch in the paint. And this really works with Minnesota's other dynamic handlers. Randle was there, this time it's Dillingham that breaks the paint, draws the defense around him, and fans it out to McDaniels so he can get downhill off the catch. There's no reason this shouldn't be a massive part of Minnesota's offense, even when Anthony Edwards returns. McDaniels is too good at it to go away from it, and frankly Minnesota doesn't have enough downhill creation to stick him back in the corner. He's become this multi-tooled offensive player who can give them 15 to 20 points a night, even with Edwards back, and they really need to find ways to continue tapping into that. This possession is my favourite of his season so far. It starts with the semi-transition hit ahead, which puts that early pressure on the defense, gets them into a quick pick and roll, and when the defense sucks in, he eats up that space off the catch and gets into his sweet spot for a bucket. This version of Jaden McDaniels is a star. We know what he can do defensively, but Minnesota's ceiling as a team rises considerably if he's one of the best third options in the league when Anthony Edwards gets back, and he looks like that right now. If you want to see that, and you want to see more breakdowns like this one, hit subscribe and drop a like or a comment below. And if you want more of Howls and Growls, check out the Worldwide Wolves podcast on YouTube and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Thanks again for watching.